See the next kind of mutual authentication, that is asymmetric key based authentication. So assume again there are two parties A and B. Both the parties have the public key and private key pairs, and each party transmits its own nouns or a random number and also challenges the other to sign it. So let us see how this particular message is being transmitted here between the party A and B. So let us consider A wants to communicate with B. So A first initially sends its identity, that is represented by A, and also the RA, that means the random number chosen by A, and also his certificate, that is A's certificate is being sent from party A and A to B. So if A is going to send this particular digital certificate from A to B, you have to assume that A is also sending the public key information of A. Okay, and now this is being sent to party B. So here again party B is going to send back his certificate, that is represented with B certificate is here represented. Okay, he is going to send back his certificate to share the public key information of party B. Okay, so again whatever the message he has received, that is RA. Okay, RA and RB values both are being signed by party B. So this is what the representation here is. So something, if you are using the notation like M of A, that means that the message M is being signed by party A. Okay, similarly here both the that is RA and RB values both are being signed by party B. Okay, so this signed document is being sent from party B to A, and now what A does here is he is going to again receive the particular message, and again he is going to send back, that is RB value. Okay, RB value is being signed by party A now. Okay, RB value is being signed by party A, and that RB value will be transmitted to party B side. So both the nouns and the signature are being sent. The nouns RA is the challenge provided by party A, and RB is the challenge provided by party B and signed by A in response. So this is the particular asymmetric key based authentication. So here mainly we consider the mutual authentication happens between party A and B through the certificate, digital certificates. So let us see how the attack happens in case of asymmetric key based authentication. Consider again two parties A and B wants to communicate with each other, but the C is the intruder here, or an attacker who interrupts the communication that is happening between party A and B. So here initially, if you have seen the particular message, that is A is going to send the identity of A, and also the random number RA is being chosen from party A side. So this is being sent to party B. So directly he is going to send the identity without any encryption process. So that is, you can see there directly he is going to send. So this is this particular message is interrupted by party C, and he sends that particular message to party B. Okay, so the same message is going to send back sent to party B side. So what B does here is, he thinks that, he assumes that this particular message is being sent from party A itself, and he signs the document. You can see that RA value and RB value which he has chosen, both the values are being signed by party B side. Okay, so for signing you have to assume that he needs the private key of party B. Okay, so that is what the signing procedure is. So here RA and RB value both are being signed by party B, and that particular signed document he is going to send to actually to party A. But a man in the middle here, that is C, he is going to interrupt the communication, and that same message he uses his private key and he signs the document. Now he will change the document as RA and RB, that is being signed by party C, and he is going to send that document to the party A side. And again A is going to receive that message, and again at party A side, he thinks that this message is being sent from party B itself. So he receives the message and he is going to sign the again sign the RB value with the help of private key of A, and he is going to send that particular message to back to B. Okay, so this way the whatever the communication that is happening between party A and B, C will look into all the communications. Okay, so he is now the interrupter here. Okay, C forwards the particular message. At last C forwards the response of RB to it is RB value to B, party B side. Now let us see the corrected protocol of asymmetric key based authentication. So again consider two parties A and B. So you can see that party A is going to send the identity and RA value to party B, but what party B does here is he is going to send back the A that is identity A and RA value and also RB value, and that particular thing he is going to sign with the help of private key. So that is represented here. Okay, B. Okay, B is going to send that complete thing to party A side. Okay, so each again party A is also going to send the identity of B and RB value, and again that particular thing he is going to sign using private key of A. Okay, and that message is being sent back to party B side. So what you can see here is if a message is being sent everywhere, you can see that the identity also is being sent. So if A is communicating with B, A communicates with B. If he is going to communicate, he is going to send his identity, and suppose B wants to communicate with A, he sends the particular message. Along with that, he is going to mention who is going to receive that particular message, that is A is represented here in the second step. In the third step also you can see that party B's identity, that is recipient's identity, is also mentioned here, so that the attacker, even if there is an attacker, he cannot interrupt the communication, or he cannot send the he cannot change the particular digital certificate or the information whatever is being sent. So that is here mainly the thing here is they are going to send the identity, mainly the sender information and receiver information, everything is clearly mentioned in this particular protocol. So this is corrected protocol of asymmetric key based authentication. For the next particular kind of authentication, that is authentication and key agreement. So authentication was performed in the previous slides. If you have seen the previous two cases, authentication was performed on long-term and short-term basis. Okay, so shared secret or private key is good security and security practice, and also you can minimize the probability of compromising. Okay, that means some attacker cannot attack such kind of practice, but it may be expensive. So here the short-term keys must be agreed upon and derive the short-term keys or session keys during the authentication phase itself. So here the next particular diagrams we will be seeing how the session keys are being used for authentication purpose. Okay, till now we have not used this session keys, or we call that session key as or we call it as short-term keys. Okay, so here SA and SB. SA means the session key that is we are going to represent, that is chosen from party A. SB is the and the session key that is chosen by party B. So these are the session keys that are going to contribute to the secret key K, that is by party A and B. So they are freshly chosen random numbers that are encrypted and sent to the other parties so that they cannot be eavesdropped upon. So this is about the session key actually. So let us see how the authentication happens in the next slide. So let us see the authentication process. So here we are using in this